Jesper, when the Devils are having a strong start, what are some of the elements that you all are executing on?
I think it's just the fundamental, simple things of the game. It's obviously the D-zone structure. It's taking care of their forecheck and making sure that we take care of the puck our own way. I mean, if you start doing too many fancy things on the blue line, you're having waves of their offense coming at you. So I think that taking care of the puck and manage the time of the game is obviously important for the start, and then continuing on building towards the end of the game.
Riding momentum throughout a game too, you're talking about building on it. So how important is it to have a response, whether it's a fight, a goal, a good shift after a goal against? How do you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, the game has emotions and it has momentum throughout the whole game. It could be a goal at an important time, and then going into the first period with a 1-0 lead because of a save or a block shot in the end of a period. It could be Dillon stepping up and doing an amazing job like he did, with dropping the gloves and giving energy to the team. So, I mean, it's just momentum games throughout the game that gives boost to your team that is obviously important.
Obviously, establishing offensive zone time is very key. What do you think the key is to, whether it's puck retrievals, battles, what is the key to you to establishing O-zone time?
Yeah, it's kind of what you talked about. It's playing against a team like today that we know there's not going to be a lot of time and space. We have to manage the puck, and then once we have the puck, we got to take care of it. We got to be strong on the puck. We got to be able to turn and twist on the man-on-man, and then get the puck to the areas where it needs to go, and then attack the net. You're not going to get a lot of fancy chances against a team like this. So once you're in the zone, you got to keep the puck and then try to get some line changes when you're in the zone, so you get fresh guys on the ice. They can play against tired guys, and I think that's just what builds momentum, like we talked about before, and creates longer offense.
How important is the cycle game, too, to that aspect? You talk about turning and twisting with possession, but also sometimes you just got to grind it out down low.
Yeah, I mean, that's important. Like I said, there's not a lot of fancy opportunities out there to score goals where you can make nice plays. So obviously turning and cutbacks and stuff that makes the defense team turn. They don't know what's behind them, and then you start getting some motions, guys running into each other, and then things starts opening up.
Brendan, let's start about responses and this team's ability to have resilience, not only in games, but responding by trying not to lose 2 in a row. What are you seeing out of this group's ability to push back?
Just exactly that, kind of wiping whatever the result was the night before, whether that's a win, loss. We got to be able to just, it's a new day, especially when you're playing a team like this in a kind of a weird circumstance, same team twice in a row in their building. Got to expect more from them, got to expect a push. We're going to have to be better all around, but all in all, we're, from training camp talked about, we just want to get better every game. Take the things to learn from in the losses and from the wins as well.
And just within a game as well, how important is it to, if there's a goal against, respond quickly?
Oh, the Islanders game is a perfect example of that. They scored 2 quick ones in the third, we're down, and we just feel we've got no quit in our group. We feel like we can score with the best of them. When we're on top of our defending and we've got that dialed in, we're one of the toughest teams in the league to beat. And part of that is adversity, understanding the game, understanding your opponents. Those guys are working hard too. Those guys are watching video, preparing and everything. And there's so many things within a game that happen. Big penalty kill, a big shot block, turnovers, goals, 4 goals against. You got to manage the highs and lows and eventually just come out with more goals than the other team.
They had a big push to start the last game. They didn't win that last game, so you're expecting that they're going to bring another good push. What can the Devils do in the opening 20 minutes to assert themselves and have a strong start against it?
Kind of just do what they did. They were simple. They put pucks into our zone. They forechecked us. They finished their checks on the D. They got pucks over to the net. It didn't matter where they were on the ice. They were throwing, creating some chaos. And I think we can do a bunch of that too. Sometimes we try to make a little bit of a cute play, and against teams like the Panthers, Stanley Cup champions, they make those go the other way, and it's so tough, especially early on in games. You're kind of feeling out the other team's strategy, what their game plan is against you, and I think for us, when we're playing fast, we've got so much speed. It's when we're on top of us, and hopefully we can do that from the drop of the puck.
Yeah, Brian, I thought both the Edmonton game and last game, good examples of even if you took on some pressure, the structures stayed there, so there weren't the big breakdowns. How important is it to win some games like that, knowing that those are the type of games, if you want to get where you want to go at the end of the year, that you're going to have to win as well?
Oh, exactly that. Just relying on that structure. It doesn't matter if you're playing game 82 or you're playing game 20. Back-to-back travel schedules. When you're tired, that's the type of thing. Or when a team is having a lot of ozone pressure or the game's not going the right way, you've got to rely on that structure. And I think at any given time, that can give you a chance to win. And from day one, whether that's been the ozone structure, neutral zone, D zone. When we play that disciplined game, and we're able to force teams into turnovers and use then our strength of the offense and the skill and the speed, that's when we're at our best. So it's just, it's been something that from day one we've been focusing on. Keefer's done a great job of just, stressing it on us that we need to stay in that structure, to trust the structure, and we usually find success doing that.
Yeah, not just your fight, but in general, that you guys gave Florida a little bit of a taste of their own medicine in terms of the pushback there and kind of the gang mentality physically and stuff like that. Is it that too?
Yeah, well, we've got to be, together as a team, we've got to be able to play all different types of styles. Florida, again, they're the Stanley Cup champs. They're the measuring bar for every team. They play fast, they play physical, they play simple, and, they have success doing it. So for our group, we don't want to back down from any type of game, whether that's the speed game, the skill game, the physicality game. In a perfect world, you can have all of it. I think we're trying to build towards that, and they're a perfect example of we're gonna have to expect their best tonight again. They played really well last game. We were fortunate to get the 2 points, and we got to be a little bit greedy here and do our best to put our best foot forward.
Sheldon, when the Devils are playing their best, taking control from puck drop, what does that look like?
Well, we're on our toes. You're forechecking. You're making it hard on the opposition to break out. And you're winning shifts and spending time on their half of the ice.
You said after the last game, team took a step. You told them they took a step. What's the next step for this team?
Well, I think consistency. That's the biggest challenge you go into the game here tonight. I mean, anything can happen once, So, for us to duplicate our resiliency, the resolve that it takes to find your way through a game like that against, a team like this. But also just understanding they're going to be better and that we need to be better. We look at it, we like lots of things about our game, but there's a ton of things that we can and need to do better tonight.
Not that you want to experience it again, but when you're put on your heels like you were, particularly in the start of that second period, and the team does respond, what does that tell you about the club? Again, you don't want to repeat it, but what do you learn out of that?
Well, like I said, it's just about the resiliency, and there's the whole bend don't break type of deal. Because as much as they were winning the territorial battle to start that second period, they got a power play goal out of it, but we weren't able to allow them to blow the game open and have us chasing it from behind. That was one of the real positives of the game, is we never trailed. So, it's things like that. You just manage it. Don't have any breakdowns in your structure. And then when you get your opportunity to get through that, you got to take advantage of it and do the same to them, which is really what we did in the back half of the period. So, anytime you get two good teams playing and competing, it's going to be like who cracks first and who can find their way through to manipulate the game in their favor.
You alluded to it a bit there, but like the Edmonton game or that last game, when you've had stretches where you've had to absorb pressure, where you think this team's grown in terms of being able to maintain that structure that you're looking for defensively, even if they're defending for long stretches?
Yeah, that's just it. It's like, there are times when you're going to have to defend. Sometimes you've had to do it too much. But protect your net, block a shot, find a way to get the puck out. Don't let people in behind you, those kind of things. Deny slot passes, like all the things that lead to dangerous scoring chances, you got to protect. And then, like I said, when you get your opportunity now to swing momentum, you need to look to take advantage of it. And that's, to me, is the area that we're continuing to talk a lot about, and we've got a long way to go.
What can you say about your defensemen? In the previous game, you talked about Luke Hughes. Seems like Jonas Siegenthaler is looking really good. Jonathan Kovacevic played a lot of minutes. How satisfied are you with the effort from your defensemen?
The effort's been great. The guys you mentioned, obviously, Siegenthaler, Kovacevic, those guys have been rock solid for us all season long. And they continue to get challenged every night by the other team's best people. So, yeah, they've been great. I think that Hughes and Pesci, two guys that miss training camp, don't get preseason, and they sort of jump on the moving treadmill here of the season. I think they're starting to really find their game and their chemistry together too. So it's really rounding out our decor.